Hi, welcome to the My Reader Minutes. For those that are new here, welcome. To all my new subscribers, thank you for joining me on my journey. Today I want to talk about the finale episode of Love and Marriage Huntsville. This is season 9, episode 13, called Vow or Never. Yes, this is the episode for Chris and Nell Fletcher's vow renewal. That's what it should have been called. But that was a clever title. Anywho, basically, it picks up where it leaves off. Last week, after Trish and Melody had their back and forth, Sunny walks in and she can feel the tension. She says she can feel the tension and it's so quiet in there. She didn't know what she done walked in on. And she sits next to Melody. Melody's like, oh, hey, you didn't see that lady walk in? She's like, oh, hey, oh, I didn't know you were coming. She's, it was so like out of left field. You look so pretty. Like, Melody, cut it out. Cut it out. Okay. And then I think they start kind of laughing or whatever, chuckling or whatever. After Sonny basically says, y'all, ooh, it's tense in here. It's tense. So right after that, Melody and Sonny, they walk over to the bar. Nell comes in and she's giving the party don't start till I walk in. And she has her daughter with her, and I believe it's her niece. And everybody's like, hey, yay, she's here. And I feel like production instructed them to act like a fool because she's now there and they can start the scene. Because everybody was just sitting there, I guess, waiting. We don't know how long they had to sit there and look at each other, but evidently they were all excited to see now, like, we can get this show started. Even Melody and Sonny look like, yes, she's here. Now, after that, they can leave. At least Melody is like, okay, good. I can leave after that. So once Nell comes in and everyone greets her, Melody, with the quickness, dismisses herself, basically saying, she can't stay, but she did want to come, I guess, and give her a gift or whatever. And but she couldn't stay because she had to do something with the kids. Plus, I think the bachelor party was also given the same time frame as well. Even I feel like both bachelorette and bachelor party were held the same day based on how they talk in the later on in the episode. So Melody has the kids, so she couldn't stay. So she tells Nell that she has to leave. Nell, in her confessional, basically says she didn't really know how she felt about that because when she has events, she usually stays the entire time to the end for Melody. But I feel like if she knew the circumstances, maybe she didn't, I don't know, but I'm sure she did. She could not stay because she had the kids to contend with. Now, mind you, maybe if she hadn't got into it with Trisha, she would have been more apt to stay there. But because, that ugly tension was in the room, it was time for she didn't want to stay in that. And I get that. It's like, all right, this ain't worth it. I showed my face. Pay me. I'm out the door. So they all come together. They got the whole theme for the night. They're going to be painting the models, that male and female model right there. They're in their swim trunks and bikini. And Destiny brings over Miss Angie, who I guess is coordinating the activity of painting. She basically tells the group that the theme is the Garden of Eden and that she would start off by painting the vines on the male model, and then the women can come over and can start painting their flowers. And then they just show the different scenes of them painting their activities. So while they're painting the male model, Nell makes a joke and basically says because Miss Angie gave her the task of painting the snake. So Nell made a joke about Sunny and Destiny sharing a snake. I don't know, she was being messy. And after she said it, she like falls out laughing. And Sunny's like, I'm sorry, I missed that. What did you say? And when I guess someone repeated it, she's like, I'm sorry, that's mine. I don't share nothing. But that carries on to the next topic because it looks like, Tisha comes over to Sunny and, ask her how she's doing. And Sunny says, I'm doing okay. How are you? And as they're talking, just having small talk, Destiny walks over and stands in the middle of them. As if to say, looks at Tisha as if to say, what are you doing? Why are you talking to her? Basically, without saying anything, that's basically the vibe that she was giving off. So Sunny picks up on it. She's basically saying, oh, she doesn't want you talking to, she doesn't want me talking to her friends. She said, but we're not in high school. If you want to chat, come over here and chat with me. And so Tisha, bends down and starts talking to her and basically, says, so Sunny's basically saying, you need to hold your friend accountable. She said, I'm tired of the lies. I'm tired of her talking about me and my husband. She said, people need to move on. And she said, because this is ridiculous. She said, every Monday, she said, me and my husband are talked about. So as Destiny was listening to this, she comes over and she's like, look, you came to the platform attached to my name. And she said, and you are making threats talking about, you're going to tell people why my husband left me and posting Maury Povich memes and things online talking about it's 3 options. It could be 3 choices or whatever. She said, that stuff is tacky. She said, I wish you the opportunity to have a child. And you know what I'm talking about. She said, that's why I haven't dog walked you. I'm like, what? So Nell says, well, Destiny, you've moved on, haven't you? She said, you're not thinking about that, are you? So Destiny says, Miss Nell, why are you coming to me talking about have I moved on? And, Nell says, because I think you moved on, didn't you, boo? She said, so Destiny said, yeah, I moved on before there was anything to move on about. And so Sunny goes on and says, well, move on then. Stop talking about it. And Destiny says, I can talk about what I want to talk about. And she starts clapping her hands. And Sunny's like, okay. And she claps her hand back like, this is some juvenile stuff, y'all. This is some juvenile stuff. So Destiny goes on and says, yeah, she was like, you need to be worried about your husband. Maybe he wouldn't be locked up right now. Think about him. And so Sunny comes back and says, well, he won't be locked up for long. Don't you worry about it or whatever. And then Destiny kind of like storms out. And so Sunny was like, boo, get out of here. You ain't going to walk dog nobody. I may have that out of order, but basically that's how the conversation went. And Destiny went outside. So Tisha runs after her and says, where are you going? And Destiny says, I can't do that in there. I can't do that. She was like, I tried to ignore. She said, I tried to walk around her big forehead all night. I can't do it. She was like, they are here. She said she came to Huntsville. Why is she here? And I kind of agree with Destiny on that. Like, why are they there? Like, you came because you wanted to be on the show. You didn't want to be behind the cameras anymore. And whatever Destiny gives you, you deserve it. Like, granted, you knew that was her man. Regardless of how it looks, how it actually went down, we don't know because the timelines ain't timelining. But whatever Destiny dishes to you, you deserve because you put yourself in that situation, Sunny. I honestly don't feel bad for her. Destiny needed to eat her up, honestly. Now, I'm not Team Destiny by all means. But in this situation, I feel her. Like, why are y'all here? I was on the show, not y'all. Yeah, Sunny was the director of the show, but she was never in front of the camera. And then when you got an opportunity to be in front of the camera, you're going to bring Moses with you, the man that I was dating, that I introduced you to, regardless if you thought we were friends or not. They were close enough. You knew my business. I invited you to quaint, intimate settings, my birthday dinner. If we weren't friends, why would I invite you to my birthday dinner? I mean, I feel destiny to a degree on this whole ordeal. Now, I don't think that she's wants Moses back. I don't think at this juncture she wants him back, but it's just the principle of everything and how it went down. You know, it was almost like he made it, or Sonny made it personal. Like, we're going to just parade in front of you. Like, you and him never did anything. I feel her pain to a degree. I do. I really do. So in Tisha's confession, she basically says, we see how it's rowing up Destiny and how she feels. She said, I hope this is the last time that Sonny is invited to anything. She said, because it really does disturb Destiny. And she said, we need to stop. She doesn't need to be invited to anything else. So they go on back into the venue, and then they go on to the next scene. The next scene is that they show up at the vow renewal, and the camera's panning the place. They're setting up, with the rose petals. They're putting the cake on the cake table. Then Nell shows up, and evidently she has done something to her ankle. Now, I did notice in the last scene that she had taken one of her shoes off and she had on a flat shoe on that ankle. So she must have done something as she came in the door. Probably when she was calling herself standing on one leg or whatever, she must have twisted her ankle or something. But anyway, that's why they had her sitting down immediately, because she did something to her ankle and she wasn't really moving that much. But she was calling herself trying to dance and stuff. Girl. Anyway, so they're helping her in, and her ankle is swollen, and she's on the phone with Chris, and she's like, Chris, you got to bring me something to wrap my ankle up because it's swollen. And she's getting her hair and her makeup done, and he tells her that he loves her and he's on his way. He'll be there in a few minutes. Lance comes in, basically showing off his man bun. Lance is handsome. I gotta admit, Lance is a handsome dude. I don't know if I like him for Destiny, but I think he is a very handsome dude. Anyway, he comes in, and I don't know why he feels like he needs to pass around the fruit tray. I don't know. He came in there and just started doing that. But anyway, he was given a chore. Nell was like, Lance, I need you to make sure that Melody and Martell remain separate. I got them both coming to the same event, being in the same space, and I want to make sure that they are separate. He said, well, I don't know about Melody. He said, but I got Martell. I'll make sure that, Martell is, situated. She was like, good. I just need some help with that. I need you to take care of that. So her niece, I want to say, asked, what was her favorite part in the bachelor party? And she was like, painting the snake on the man. She said, I'm going to stop saying that. She said, I shouldn't say that. She said, because I'm getting ready to make my new vows, renew my vows with my husband. I'm not going to say that, or something she said to that effect. I can't remember. And this part of the conversation, she made a comment about Destiny going off on Sonny. And her niece is like, well, if she's dating Lance, why is she so concerned about her ex or whatever? And so Nell says, well, in Destiny's defense, she said, I don't think that she is concerned about Moses or her ex. I think it's the fact that I invited Sonny to my event. But she said, yeah, I kind of, the niece was like looking like, even though Destiny ate up. I don't know. They didn't show the whole conversation, but based on what the niece is saying, they said Destiny ate Sunny up, like let her have it. And but yeah, she said, I don't think it's about Lance or Moses. She says the fact that I invited Sunny to my event. Meanwhile, Chris comes in with his delivery of the ace bandage and says, he's got to go get dressed. And everybody starts coming. The guests start coming in. Then you have Maurice and Kimmy. Our old buddy Martel in his priest suit. Girl, what is this? I don't know. He makes his pleasantries, walks in, says hi to Kimmy and Maurice. So Martel takes to his confessional and basically says, he knows the day is going to be somewhat awkward. He said, because Tisha and Marceau are going to be there, along with Melody. And he said, but he's there, to celebrate the Fletchers. He said he doesn't want no problems. He don't want no smoke. But he sits there and he's talking to Maurice, and Maurice said, you all right? Have you recovered from the bachelor party? And Martel said, well, ain't that much recovering to do. Then they show scenes of the bachelor party, which must have been the same day as the bachelorette party. Remember, I was telling y'all before. And he has one of the girls open the door for Chris to let him in. And then they're all, got the stripper pole and they bent over. Now, mind you, look at who's there. I don't know who this guy is in the back that we see his back, but Marceau was there. Maurice was there. Lance was there. I don't know who that other guy is, but everybody got like a man bun. Everybody got hair. So for those that don't have hair are bald. Those that do have hair have ponytails or man buns. Anywho, but Marceau was there, as you can see. And they are just being themselves. This is what they are used to. If I was Tisha and Kimmy, I'd be like, y'all can't be trusted when it comes to just y'all and strange random women. Like, this is how they get down on a regular basis. This is a Tuesday. And this is not a special occasion. Like, this is like a Tuesday for them. You know what I mean? That's how I feel. Anyway, they give me Creep Squad. Creep Squad point 2. Y'all remember the Creep Squad from Love and Marriage? No. Love and Hip Hop? The Creep Squad? Well, these are Huntsville Creep Squad. Creep Squad 2.0. So Kimmy goes on to say, well, at least y'all, had a good time. I'm paraphrasing. She said, but it was probably better than our bachelorette party. And Maurice said, well, y'all didn't have fun? And she said, well, there were some fun moments. She said, but, Tisha and Melody got into it, and then Sunny and Destiny got into it. And so Maurice was like, well, it's expected for Sunny and Destiny to get into it, but Martel was like, Trisha and Melody? I want to know more about that. And Kimmy said, well, why would you want to know more about that? He said, because hardly anybody comes after Melody. I'd like to know more about that. And as he said that, then Melody comes in and she looks really, really pretty in her gold. And that dress is hugging her all in the right places. And she comes in and Maurice said, you got quiet. And Martel says, I think we all got quiet. And so Melody comes and sits down, and she sits down on the other side, right? Because and I don't know if Kimmy and Maurice even said hi to her. I guess they mad about Melody saying about the lipstick or whatever. But anyway, they didn't speak. For what we could see, at least they didn't put that on there so we could see that they spoke. And Maurice said, well, y'all didn't have fun? And Kimmy said, well, there were some fun moments. She said, but, Tisha and Melody got into it, and then Sunny and Destiny got into it. And so Maurice was like, well, it's expected for Sunny and Destiny to get into it, but Martell is sitting there looking at her like, I can't believe, that me and Melody are in this space, not me and her. You would think that, we would be able to talk to each other. She said, if anybody was having a vow renewal, it should have been me and her. I mean, he was going down the line, but he's like acting like he's mesmerized about her. And then he starts talking to Maurice about how he wants to be married, but he's messed up. He's met a lot of women, but he's just not in the right space, I guess, to get married right now. He probably think he needs another 5 years. And I'm thinking to myself, another 5 years? Oh my God, coleslaw. You're going to have to wait another 5 years before he even thinks about whether or not he wants to marry you or not. 5 years? In 5 years, her little boy will be, I guess, 9 or 10. What? You're giving Ariana has given Martell her best years and still giving them to him. When she looks up, she gonna be 40 something, and he gonna be moved on to something younger, because that's the how he gets down. He's part of Creep Squad 2.0. Marceau and Tisha arrive. Comes in, he gives Martell £1. Initially, I didn't understand why he was doing that, considering they just had the blow up at the adult activity field day. And he's giving him £1. Well, he's giving him £1 because last night, remember, at the bachelor party, they were partying. So whatever they had going on, they probably just swept that under the rug. But guys tend to do that more easily than women do. Because I noticed that Tisha really didn't speak. She looked at him and smiled, but she really wasn't saying hey to him. He then speaks to his brother, speaks to Kimmy. Tisha goes to sit down. They wave to Mel because she's sitting across the aisle on the other side. Look at Kimmy. Like, Kimmy, I honestly don't think Kimmy spoke. But it wasn't until Marceau came, he was like, hi, Mel. Because I think he has a little something. I think, and it's just me, my opinion, I think he has a little crush on her. What you think? I think so. And everything on this channel is my opinion, you guys. She just grins and says hi back. And then Mel goes into her confessional. She was like, I'm surprised based on everything that has gone down with this group over here. She said that they're all sitting over this on the same side in so close proximity. She said they're all being phony. And I tend to feel like they've been friends for so long that they kind of know each other. Remember, they were Martell's friends, not Melody's friends. And Melody, she don't jive with them, honestly. And they all think that she's bitter. I don't think Mel is bitter. I think she wanted better for herself. She's not bitter. And so yeah, her thing is let them stay over there and be phony. And she said, but she tends to think that that's how that group operates. After Martell talks about how he wants to be married again, he has not, he likes the idea of marriage or whatever. Marceau turns around and starts hugging on his wife. I know he has to feel some way. Marceau and them chose their wives. Martell screwed up and picked coleslaw, pretty much, over Melody. And now he's regretting, because even Maurice said, are you, with the women that you're meeting, are you comparing? He said, probably so. I'm probably still comparing. And they all know that he messed up. That was Maurice's way of saying, you still comparing to what you had? Because they know he ain't going to get nobody like that. Well, I'm not going to say he won't never get anybody like that. It's possible that he could get someone on the same level as Mel, but it's far and few and in between. It ain't what he got now. It ain't coleslaw. Anyway, he don't even claim her anyway. He's sitting here right now talking about he don't know what he want. He's all messed up. So he's still not claiming coleslaw. She need to be mad. So it's talking about how Melody is sitting over there by herself, how she's isolated herself from the group. But Melody is not for the phoniness. She'll be cordial. She'll deal with you, I guess, if she needs to, because that's the job, that's the show. But ordinarily, she don't hang around them people. She don't really hang with them. When they stop filming, that's it. She let it be known. She even changes her phone number. You know, they are co-workers at this point. So the ceremony starts. The bishop is up there. He explains that he is the nephew of Larry Fletcher, which is Chris's dad. So I guess he's Chris's first cousin. And he brings up his dad to do the opening prayer. Destiny slides her butt in there and she makes a beeline right next to Martell, and looks like it might be Trish on the other side. They didn't show her walking in, but I see that she's already sitting down. And she's sitting in between Martell and Trisha. And Chris is up front. He's already walked up front. I think his son walked up with him, little Chris. And they are watching Nell as she walks up. Nell looks beautiful, even though she needs assistance in walking in. Now, this guy on the end, now I know what she's talking about. Now I get it. I'm just looking at some of the clips that I've done. The guy that's helping Nell come in was the other dude that Destiny was looking at that Lance got jealous about. Now I see him. I didn't see him before, but I see him now. Now I get it. Y'all remember that. Remember the guy that's standing on to her left. Her left. Remember that guy. So they do like a little montage of Nell and Chris, of different scenes that they've had. I think this was at their dance class. This was at Nell's birthday party. This was them doing jousting together. This is them going out to their favorite club, dancing. It looks like it's called Reflections. And they like to go out and dance. Nell she a brick house for her age. She ain't bad. She not bad. And she be wearing the right things that be hugging her. This is where they talk about the rings. Chris surprises her with a 7-carat ring because they was like, where are the rings? And Nell laughs because she says, I got my ring on already. And they show that he has a box. And she was like, oh my God. She said, is that real? And Chris is like, yeah, it's real. 7 carats real. And she's like, oh my God, which was a beautiful surprise. Beautiful surprise. So they show him putting on her ring. And then Tisha says, okay, now you are now my mentor. And she falls out laughing because of that 7-carat ring. And then Tisha goes even further and says, you know what, Chris? You can even mentor Marceau. I thought that was cute. It was funny. But it was also a dig at Melody. See, they all do their little digs, but they do it in such a quaint, slick way. But they all get that. That was their dig. So I don't know why I took this picture, but Melody is over here. I don't know what that is. So the girls are standing around and Destiny asks Trisha, did she have a good time at the bachelorette party? last night. And Trisha had the nerve to say, yeah, after the garbage left, it got better. And I'm thinking to myself, I know she's not talking about Mel. Is she calling Mel garbage? Like, what? You and that wig is garbage. You and the fact that you are at the wedding by yourself and Ken is not even wanting to be around you, that's garbage. Because as we see in the next scene after this vow renewal, partially of why he wasn't with her at the ceremony. Because she's a liar. And she's been lying about both Martell and Marquez. Anyway, she had enough to say that after the garbage left. What? I hope Mel lights her up about that at the reunion. Garbage? Girl, bye. So they start talking, and evidently Lance went by the first time and kind of gave Destiny the cold shoulder. She was like, hi. And he was like, hey. And he kept on walking. And he came back, and Kimmy picked up on it like, that was cold. And so they were thinking that Nell must have went back and told how she was flirting with one of that other guy, the guy that was on the left. And they do this flashback. That same guy was at her Madani thing, and she had made a comment like, you stand right there, don't move, go too far away or whatever. That was the same guy. I don't think I got a screenshot of that, or do I? No. But Kimmy's basically being messy and saying, you can't be giving googly eyes to other people or whatever and then expect, Nell not to run back and tell her son. She said, if you're casually dating, then it shouldn't be a big deal. So I don't know. I'm paraphrasing. I don't remember how the conversation went, but Destiny was feeling some way like, why would he carry it like that? We're just casually dating. She said, we're not married. So they flash back to another part of the vow renewal. They're taking pictures. And as they're taking pictures, evidently the bishop, who is Chris's cousin, gets overheated and he passes out. He starts getting wobbly. Nell's looking up at him, and all of a sudden he passes out. She said, somebody call 911. I think Melody calls 911. They're trying to give him some air. The paramedics come in and roll him out. Then they go to this scene with the 3 M's, and Marcel made a comment saying, I really felt bad that Melody wasn't sitting on the same side as us. And Martell said, well, she could have sat on the same side of us. Nothing was stopping her from sitting over there. She said, that's Melody. He said, and I don't understand why she's not talking. She said, when we're just by ourselves and we're with the kids or whatever, she said, we and her, we talk. We said, he acting like they're so jovial when it's just them two. But when she's around other people, she doesn't talk. But I caught Marceau's little dig. He said, oh, well, then it must be us then. But if he wasn't listening, you would have missed it. He said, oh, well, it must be us then. I thought that was so funny. But I believe that Martell's a liar. I don't have Melody talking to him. That would have breached their order for them to talk. He wasn't even supposed to be texting her, and that breached the order. So I find it hard to believe that Melody is just chopping it up with him when it's just him and her, and that she switches up when she's around them. Cut it out, Martell. Stop lying. But Marceau, funny as hell. He said, oh yeah, then it must be us then. Girl, I thought I was going to pee myself. Anyway. So then they move inside to the reception area. Everybody's getting seated at their table. Martell, I don't know what table he was in, but he brings his chair with him, right? Because Nell went to great lengths to make sure that they were not sitting in the same space. And if they were on one side of the room and the other was going to be on the other side. And Melody got an instant attitude. She said as soon as she sat down and got herself settled, here comes Martell. She said, well, I guess I'm going to take that as my cue to leave. So she goes into her confessional basically saying, she doesn't really want to be around people that she don't really deal with. She said she's going to take this as her cue. She's going to exit. She's going to say goodbye to Nell and Chris. She said her whole goal was to come there and support them, but she's leaving. So she spots Chris and Nell over there taking pictures. It looks like Destiny and Lance are over there with them. So Melody makes her way over to the Fletcher. She says, first of all, you look beautiful. Second of all, don't forget your gift. And she said, third, I'm going to have to leave your event. So she makes her way, says her goodbyes, and looks like production walks her out. So then in another part of the event, Destiny pulls Lance to the side. She says she didn't feel like it was right for him to kind of put her on blast in front of the ladies about how he was feeling, about who she might have been making eyes at, who else she thought was cute. She said, if you have an issue going forward, please just pull me to the side and we can talk about it or whatever going forward. She said, because, she didn't like the fact that he said that in front of the ladies because she said Kimmy made a big moment about it, saying, and she kind of like mimicked Kimmy talking about it. So there was that. I think Lance is on to Destiny. So this time, I think it comes to the end of the night almost. The Fletchers are thanking everyone for coming. They do a shout out to Latrice Rogers. She's from Bell Collective. He shouts out to his family. I think this is his sister-in-law and his sister. And he names some other people that were at the table, but that's Chris's family. He did a special thanks to his sister. I forgot what he called her, mama or something. I don't know. And then also spotlight on his dad, thanking him for coming and supporting them in their vow renewal ceremony. Then, last but not least, he sent some love. He called it the Love Table, which is the cast of Love and Marriage Huntsville. And, thanked everyone for coming. And at the end of the ceremony, Lance made a toast to the Fletchers. And that was the end of the vow renewal. It was nice. Looked like it was put together really nice. I'm sure they had a good time. But yeah, very nice. So the last scene is Ken and Trisha. And I think we learned why Ken didn't make it to the vow renewal, even though she told the ladies that he had a family emergency. And the ladies were trying to figure out, like, well, what happened? And they were like, oh, she said he really wanted to be here, but he had a family emergency. And they was like, was there anything we can do? And well, Kimmy says, is there anything we can do to help or whatever? And Trish said, no, just life. Trisha be lying. I don't trust nothing she says anymore. She's a liar. Anyway, Ken comes out and says, you want to have a conversation. And Trish basically says, well, it depends on what the conversation is about. Because her thing is she's tired of talking about, I guess, whatever they've been arguing about. She's tired of walking on eggshells in her own house. She said she had to do that when she was married. And she is still married to Marquez as of today. Okay, you guys. But she said she had to do that with Marquez. And she said she's not doing it anymore. And Ken goes to his confessional saying, this privacy stuff that Trish got going on, he says really not helping their relationship. And she needs to stop and come clean, stop telling lies. I'm paraphrasing, but basically that's what he was saying. So his thing was, after she wasn't really trying to talk about the reason why she was lying about Marquez, something he brought up that she said in a text message saying she would take Marquez back in a heartbeat. I don't know where that came from, but he said something about that. Then he said something about the fact that she lied about Martell, which was supposed to be before him. I don't think it was before you, Ken. That's why she ain't said nothing. But supposedly it was before him. Why is she lying about it? And he says she keeps talking to him like he keeps talking about these men. And she's spinning the narrative like she said these people are or what? How does she say it? Usually the saying goes they are rent free in your mind or something like that. But anyway, she was saying in the house because she makes it seem like Ken keeps bringing up these two men, Martell and Marquez. And she said, what you're going to do is stop saying that. She says, not like I'm sitting around talking about them. You're not going to keep saying it. She said, my problem isn't with them. My problem is you. He said, you are the problem. And he said, I'm not doing this no more. He said, I'm not doing it anymore. He said, I don't want to have this conversation anymore. He said, the problem is you. And she comes back and says, no, you're actually the problem. And so he starts talking to production. I think he's talking to the production and he says, I'm not doing this anymore. I'm tired. I'm not doing this or whatever. And she runs over there and she says, wrap this up. Wrap this up. We're not doing this anymore. Wrap this up. And he says, I paid for all of this. He said, I paid for the house. He said, I paid all them cars out there. He said, I pay for it. And she said, you're lying. You don't. She said, am I lying? He said, you ain't paying for nothing. He said, I paid for this. He said, your car is broke down in an apartment complex over wherever. She said, oh, my brother's fixing that. So it wasn't a lie. So he leaves. He said, I could go to an island and be done with this. He said, you can't go. And she's just standing there looking stupid. Trish was a liar. So bottom line, how I see this whole thing, she is using Ken. Not saying she doesn't like the companionship or someone being there with her, but she's using him. He making it seem like he paying for everything. If she's supposed to be this big time engineer at NASA, then why is he paying for everything? That makes no sense. I know he's a truck driver. Truck drivers make good money. So he could be, bringing home a pretty penny because he's not on the road. But maybe her title engineer is a fancy name for whatever else she's supposed to be doing. Is she a software engineer? What is that? IT person? What is that? You know what I'm saying? People beef up their titles to make it seem like they're more than what they are. And to me, I feel like maybe that's what she's done. But I don't know. Anywho, what do y'all think? That's the end of this episode. It kind of goes off like that. And then it starts to show scenes of the reunion. And it shows Carlos King making his little snide remarks with Nell and Destiny. And they talk about the revenge P. They talk about, and then Melody says that Martell pleaded guilty. Why would she lie? He pleaded guilty. Carlos walks over to him and says, did you plead guilty? He says, no, I didn't. So come on. Everybody on here is a liar. They're going it. Y'all leave a comment. Tell me what you think. This was the finale. Based on word on the street, they are starting to film again. This is the longest running reality show. They are on for a whole entire year with breaks here and there. And I don't know. Will Melody come back next season? We don't know. Does she say her goodbyes? As a part of the front of it? Maybe she's just going to be on the back end. Maybe she's going to be EP and just collect her money. I would, if I were her, I don't know if I would come back because she's actually separated herself from the whole crew. She stopped following Carlos King. So something ain't right. She may not be coming back, but I hope she continues to have her EP credit and let them go down the tubes with the show. Because if they don't start telling their true stories, people ain't gonna watch because nobody wants to see that bullcrap that they present. They no longer can ride the coattails of Martell or Melody. Martell needs to leave too, but I don't know if he has anything else going on that he can really, financially leave. So he might need to be on there just because. But if those two left, this show would go down the tubes. Now, I like Marceau, but Marceau has to bring along Tisha, and I don't feel it for Tisha all that much. But I think Marceau would be great. they could show him with his kids, they could show him with his family, and let the show revolve around Marcel. Yeah, he has a wife named Tisha, but she's not the main character. You know what I'm saying? I don't know, just a thought. Tell me what you think. Anywho, please like, share, and subscribe. Before you leave the building, please like this video. It is a free way to support the channel. And with that being said, everyone be blessed. Peace.